For centuries, the global consensus has classified the Ramayana as a foundational religious text, an epic poem dating back anywhere from 7 to 10,000 years. It features accounts of monkey armies, supernatural weapons, and aerial chariots capable of independent flight. Because of these details, modern academia naturally filed the story under pure mythology. But today, independent researchers spanning geology, botany, and archaeology are working across India and Sri Lanka, and they are mapping a series of physical anomalies that defy natural explanation. When you layer these localized, cross-discipline anomalies over the geographical descriptions in the ancient texts, a highly specific pattern emerges. We have to ask if the Ramayana functions as a historical archive of a lost era. We start here, high up in the Rittigala mountain range and the elevated valleys of modern-day Sri Lanka. Modern botanical surveys conducted by university teams have identified isolated patches of rare medicinal herbs growing in these specific Sri Lankan hills. The anomaly is that these plant species are entirely native to the Himalayas, thousands of miles away. This topographical map shows the distance between the two regions, and the genetic data is definitive. DNA sequencing reveals a genetic match between the Sri Lankan patches and the Himalayan herbs. This correlation rules out the possibility of parallel independent evolution. A foreign microecosystem was artificially transplanted. Without a massive physical intervention, comparable to the epic's account of Hanuman literally lifting a portion of a Himalayan mountain and dropping pieces of it over Sri Lanka, this exact botanical distribution defies the laws of natural plant migration. Moving to the ocean corridor between mainland India and Sri Lanka, we find a 31-kilometer stretch of sand and stone known as Ram Setu. Satellite imagery from NASA captures a continuous, remarkably straight alignment of this structure. But the real puzzle lies in a specific dating discrepancy that continues to baffle geologists. This cross-section diagram of the ocean floor illustrates the core data anomaly. Carbon dating shows that the stones on top are roughly 7,000 years old, but the sand holding them up is only 4,000 years old. Pushing into a single floating stone, scans reveal artificial air pockets inside a dense shell. The Indian Geological Survey confirmed these aren't natural volcanic pumice. Back on the mainland of Sri Lanka, the Usangata region presents a completely different geographical scar. Long stretches of hardened, sterile black soil where no plants will grow. Soil analysis shows concentrations of high-heat carbon composites and burned metals. The Earth was exposed to immense thermal friction thousands of years ago. Yet, there is zero history of volcanic activity anywhere near this region. We have an artificially layered, floating stone bridge across the ocean, paired with isolated, non-volcanic scorch marks on land. The combination of this geological data corresponds to the engineering efforts and the destruction of Lanka described in the text. Inland, the ancient strongholds of the empire remain. The sheer scale of the Sigiriya rock fortress dominates the jungle, providing a highly defensible vertical capital. Beneath these massive structures, archaeologists have found an extensive underground tunnel network. The caves are cut in straight lines, complete with protective defense drops, and modern engineers still struggle to explain how they were excavated with such precision. In other parts of the island, researchers have documented multiple flat, hardened red soil strips, completely devoid of natural erosion. Local traditions and independent researchers classify these unyielding, straight alignments as ancient aviation runways. Correlating with these runway structures are ancient palm leaf manuscripts recovered in Sri Lanka. These inscriptions feature geometric diagrams and aerodynamic plans for flying machines, known as the Pushpaka Vimana. The biological evidence extends to the people as well. Excavations near these ancient sites have unearthed atypical human skeletons. These remains show distinct joint mutations, matching the physiological descriptions of the Rakshasa clans mentioned in the text. The discovery of structural anomalies, ancient technical diagrams, and atypical biological remains creates a physical context for the accounts of the Rakshasa kingdom, suggesting the narrative is anchored in a complex past. A single patch of burnt soil or a misplaced Himalayan herb is a geographical oddity. Dozens of these physical anomalies, aligning with the geography of an ancient text, form a factual pattern. The physical evidence matches the poetry. We have to update our classification of the Ramayana, and recognize that it cannot be dismissed as pure human imagination. History is literally written into the earth. The Ramayana remains a meticulously preserved historical record of an era we are finally equipped to understand.